Well, Kelli Davis is the executive director of the Titusville Regional Literacy Council. I'll get it, Kelli. It's just Friday. It's
just
been a long
have to be patient with you.
Thank you. Yes, and she joins us here this morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's been a little while.
It has been. What have you been working on?
What haven't I been working on? I don't know. I just got off a 2-week quarantine a little bit ago, so I feel like I'm about 10 steps behind.
Yeah.
So I'm playing catch up right now.
Of course, I don't know. It seems like we talked to you like near graduation time and maybe the start of the year sometimes, but you guys are in full swing now?
We are in full swing. We are doing face-to-face with everyone. We also offer virtual classes, though, so if someone can't come face-to-face, we do virtual. And there are a few people that are opting for that.
Could that help you in terms of folks who might be out of the area that
Absolutely.
want to take part?
Yes. When COVID first hit and we went into shutdown, we had to learn how to do virtual instruction. And I thought, man, this is going to be a real drawback. I wasn't thrilled with the idea at all. But what we've learned is that it's actually a positive thing because now we can reach people that we couldn't reach before. So, times change and attitudes change, opinions.
Well, that's okay, right?
Yeah.
It's all learning.
And we've also had people that have started in our program here and then they've moved and they don't necessarily, it's not like to another state, but they move to another area where it's too far to come, but they don't necessarily want to start with a new program. So for comfort level, they can stay with us now.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, and they get used to the staff that you have.
Yes.
And I mean, we've talked before, it's a very caring staff and you guys demand a lot, but it pushes them in the right direction. And that's where at the end of the year, like graduation is where you see those tears and the thank yous. And again, if you ever get the opportunity, go to a graduation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's really amazing.
Yeah. It touches your heart. I'll tell you what, there's not much more rewarding. And I've told you before, but one of our favorite quotes given to me by a former student, I use it on our pamphlets and everywhere, but Abby Carson said, TRLC, which is what we're known by, TRLC is not like school, it's more like family. And we really are. I mean, we form relationships with these students, and it's not, when they graduate, they're gone. It's not like that. We keep in touch, and I could tell you what most of my students are doing right now. So.
Yeah, it was better than what I submitted for you, which was the TRLC, find out what it means to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad poem. Yeah, it wasn't that.
I kind of lifted it from Aretha Franklin, but anyways, you went with the better quote.
Okay.
So you got some information you want to share this morning?
I do. We are so excited to be able to say that we are recipients of a digital literacy and workforce development grant for both Crawford and Forest counties. And it's awesome. And we are going to be teaching digital literacy skills it's open to the community. Digital literacy skills from, if you don't know how to turn on a computer, you don't know where the power button is, you don't know what a mouse is or how to use it, we'll start there. If you want to improve word processing skills or know how to write a resume and cover letter, we'll help you with that. We're going to do spreadsheets, surfing the internet, verifying sources. People share things all the time on social media that they assume is true because it's on the internet, so it must be true. And it's not always true. I just want everyone to know that it's not. So we'll tell you how to do that. The grant comes from the Department of Labor and Industry of Pennsylvania. So part of our goal is to help people, I guess our main goal probably is to help people become more ready for the working world, because everybody knows we're in a digital world right now. You know that. Look what you're surrounded by. We're in a digital world. Everything is. And if you don't know how to use a computer, you're really handicapped. So we want to help that and help people search for jobs. We're going to do things like introduce them to job search engines. I know whenever I had a job opening before, I'd put it in the newspaper and see what happened. Well, now I might still do that, but it's on Indeed.com. It's on the school websites. It's on Facebook. It's just all over the internet on our webpage.
It is just talking about adapting to the changes in life. When you look at the program, you go to the website, adult literacy, family literacy, and of course the GED diploma classes. But the literacy part, right? That's consistent with adult, family, and you think reading and how important that is. To getting it, because if you can't read, that might prevent somebody from wanting to take a job where they're going to have to read information or something at the workplace, right?
Sure.
But then there's, as you were saying, the digital literacy part of it. And this is an obstacle for people.
Oh, it's a huge obstacle. I mean, I have adults that don't feel comfortable using a computer at all, that don't have a computer at home, that have never used a computer. And then I have adults that maybe search the intranet, but that's about all they do, or have Facebook. So they don't know anything about going on a job search engine and looking for a job or applying for a job. I mean, how many jobs out there do you know of right now that you can walk in and just fill out an application anymore? It's just not that way.
I was going to ask you, like, what percentage now where these job opportunities are only posted via the computer or internet?
I don't know a percentage, but I know
you can make it up.
I can make it up.
You have enough street cred. We can
87.5%.
But it's pretty high, right? Where that's where you're going to find the job. So if you're not able to get online and know how to search for that, you're not going to find it.
You're not going to find it. You're not going to be able to apply for it. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say places, but like Walmart or Dollar General, you apply online now. It's crazy. The substitute teachers at the school used to get calls early in the morning, hey, do you want to sub today? Well, now it's all through Kelli Services, and they go online and they see what's available and they sign up for it themselves. It's not a phone call. It's not talking to somebody. It's all online.
Wow.
So times change.
So so this is a really important opportunity for folks to, and this is open to the community.
It is. Yep.
Okay. And when we say the community, you mentioned Crawford and Forest counties?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, we're lucky enough to get grants that cover both counties. And we're setting up computer labs in both places. We will have lab hours available if someone just doesn't necessarily need instruction, but they need a place to come in and search for jobs and apply for jobs. We'll have our computer lab's open 15 hours a week.
Wow.
So
is there a set time, or do they work with you on a schedule?
Well, right now we're offering computer lab times from 8 to 9 for the morning people. I don't think they're the higher percentage of the population either, but there are some morning people. And then we're offering it from 2 to 4 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
But I can't say that that's set in stone. We'll work with people. If someone needs to come in later, we'll work with people.
So let's talk a little bit about the programs and in terms of staffing. You're picking this up. Is there enough staff, or do you still look for volunteers to help with any of the programs?
We are not looking for, we always look for volunteers, but not necessarily to help with this part. Mm-hmm. Although I wouldn't turn that away. If somebody's very computer savvy, I guess, and just is strong in that, I would not turn that away. I wouldn't have them volunteer, though. I would hire them for that.
Okay. So when you break down, let's go to adult literacy.
Okay.
Talk a little bit about that program, and is it something that they need to start at the beginning of the year, or can they join later on? How does that work?
Adult literacy and family literacy both go all year round.
Okay.
And it's open enrollment, so they can join anytime. The difference between the two is let me back up. No matter what part of the program you join, other than this. No matter what part of the program you join, a person needs to take an assessment, and that doesn't give you a grade of A, B, C, or pass or fail. What it does is it gives us a starting level so we know where a person's at. So with adult literacy, an adult comes to us with an educational need. They take an assessment, and then we match them up with a volunteer tutor from the community, and they work on whatever goal they have. With family literacy,
And I'm sorry, real quick, and that could be somebody who maybe did graduate or somebody who didn't graduate, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
you mean the person coming to me, the student?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because just because you graduated doesn't mean that you can read well. It doesn't mean that you're good at math or budgeting. Maybe you never got a driver's license. We do so many things. And if they didn't graduate, I'd say that's a great percentage of the people that we serve are people that didn't graduate, and they're there to get a GED. And we collaborate with Forest and Titusville school districts so they can actually get a high school diploma too. And I'd say that's the majority of our clients.
Do you find that they go right for the GED program, or do you find that there are times when somebody comes in wanting to improve their reading skills or math skills, and in the course of interacting with them, you discover that they didn't graduate, and you offer that opportunity for them to do that?
They usually come in wanting their GED.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that they necessarily go to the GED diploma class, though, because something great that I worked out with the superintendents probably 2 years ago now is when we have the GED diploma class, that's in the evening, and that was hard for a lot of parents to do. They didn't have childcare. Their kids would get sick. So I talked to the superintendents, and I said, they're having a really hard time coming to class because they don't have childcare. Is this something we could do through family literacy? Because family literacy, an adult comes to us with the same basic needs. They want to learn English better. They want to learn to read better, improve their math, get their GED, whatever. But up till that point, that's all they could do was get their GED. And when they're studying for whatever it is they want, they can bring their children 8 or under with them, because we have an early childhood educator who works with the kids.
That's
and
wonderful.
Gets them school ready or works on developmental milestones. So it's an awesome program. And I said, could we possibly let them get their high school diploma through family literacy? And we know there might be a week or two they're going to miss. So it's going to mess up their attendance. But if we can add up their hours, and when I say they're going to miss that, like for a sick child, if we add up the same hours that they'd get in diploma class, could we do the high school diploma that way? And oh my gosh, the superintendents were all over that. And they said, absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream Television and on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel, and listening to it on the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. We are here with Kelli Davis this morning. So, adult literacy, family literacy, now the GED diploma side of it, that's something where you need to start that program at the beginning, right? And go all the way through,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yes. The GED diploma program, we usually start like the end of August for the fall and towards the end of January probably for the spring.
Okay.
But that's something that you have to go from beginning to end. It is managed enrollment. You have to be there 90% of the time or you don't qualify for the diploma anymore. So it's just a little more rigid, but it's only 3.5 months. So you should be able to go for 3.5 months and really stick to it and reach that goal.
And that goes back to, again, the great staff that you have that, again, encourages them throughout the whole process.
And it's not the regular TRLC staff that normally teaches that class, although I've taught it several times. We actually have 2 former professors from Pitt right now teaching it, their team teaching it. And what an opportunity for people, because one taught language arts there, and he can teach them how to write so well. And the other one was a math professor, so we were really lucky there. Ron Schaup and Herb Kitson.
Ron, well, you could say a lot about both, but Ron, just a great guy.
You know Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. and just very passionate for our region. Former chamber director in Venango, and just a great person. So,
He is, yeah.
So let's go back, Kelly, and talk about this grant that you got
Yes.
and the digital literacy side, because again, this is really important, especially when, again, as we were saying, a lot of things now are online, and that's the only way you're going to find them.
Absolutely. We were lucky enough to get the grant for Crawford and Forest counties. We will, and I said that all parts of our program need an assessment except for this. That's not exactly true. We do have, I wouldn't say it's an assessment, but it kind of is, just to see where a person's at. Do you need to start with turning on a computer, or do you want to learn how to do spreadsheets? Do you need to learn to surf the internet or search for jobs or write? So it kind of gives us a place to start with that each person as well. We have a computer lab available. We'll start any place that you want, any place that you need. And
So another important point there, then, somebody doesn't have to bring a computer in or a laptop.
no, absolutely
You'll have all
not.
the equipment there.
Right. We absolutely will. We have PCs, desktops, and laptops. We have some touch screens. We have some with the little mouse pad that I hate. So they can, I don't really hate it. I'm more used to it now, but it took me a while. So see, not everybody's completely computer savvy. It takes you a while. So please don't come in feeling like you're inferior to anyone else. I remember when I first learned to use a computer, I thought I'd break the thing, and now I'm teaching computer skills, so it's all good.
Well, it was funny because we were talking too, going virtual for some of your classes, right? And that was a step for you guys. But
Yes.
you might have somebody that says, they're asking me to do Zoom meetings, or I have the ability to work from home, and I just don't know how to do that.
And I put this in front of me so I wouldn't forget anything. I forgot to say that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's part of what we're teaching. When everything went into shutdown with COVID, we really didn't know what we were doing with Zoom. We'd all been on Zoom meetings and webinars, but as far as running a Zoom meeting, we had no clue. So we had to learn a lot, and we want to teach people how to be comfortable with Zoom and different platforms like that.
It's funny. I was just reading an article this morning about the whole Zoom fatigue that's going on. Because at first people were like, "This is fantastic. Don't have to go to a meeting ever again. Don't have to see anybody." And then, after a couple months, it's like, I really miss seeing people. But there are still some that, out of convenience or health or whatever, still want to be able to sit at home and Zoom into different meetings. But I've run into people over the last year that they really don't know how to set that up or to do that.
Sure.
Again, here's a great opportunity for you to be able to do that.
We'll help you do it, absolutely. I know on Tuesdays, I'm a Rotarian in Titusville, and I just am getting over the long-term effects of COVID, and I really haven't felt like going out a lot of places, so I'm joining Rotary Zoom.
Well, how does somebody get started with this? How do they find you? What do they need to do?
Call me, 814-827-0543, or we're located in Titusville High School. We also have a location in West Forest School, so you could always just go there and stop in and ask for us. But the easiest way is just to call 814-827-0543.
And real quick, we spent time talking about the adult literacy, but on the family literacy side,
Yes.
kind of talk about that part of it.
Family literacy, and adults going to come with us with an educational need. So they might want to improve a basic skill. They might want a GED. They might want to study for citizenship or learn English as a second language. We have people come to study for the ASVAB, entrance exams, any educational need. I had someone come to me once that wanted to learn Boolean algebra. That's another day. But
Wow.
They come to us with any educational need, and if they have a child 8 or under, they qualify for family literacy. They bring the child with them. And we work with the kids, and we do fun things, and the parents and children get together. And
Is there a screening involved with that? If a parent has a concern for a child, can they come to you and I guess do an interview process to see if it's something that they can qualify for?
You mean if the child has an issue?
Well,
instead of the parent?
Yeah.
It's the adult that comes to us
Okay.
with an educational need.
Okay.
It's not that, like, if a child has something that they really need to work on or they're behind in something, we'll certainly work on that too. It's not that we don't, but it's the adult that comes to us with the need in the first place.
Okay. Again, best thing to do is to call. Can they message you on Facebook or
Yes,
through the website?
absolutely. Yeah. We have Facebook for Titusville Regional Literacy Council. Kelli Davis is my Facebook, but it's a work Facebook. And we have a website, TitusvilleRegionalLiteracyCouncil.org.
And you serve people all over.
All over.
All
If they
over.
can get to us. As far as virtual, you have to live in Pennsylvania
Okay.
because we're state funded. So,
All right. Kelly, good to see you
excited.
this morning.
good to see you too.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.